This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Magus. I'm trying to get back into covering the gaming scene more like I used to, including these conferences. They really didn't do much on some of the summer conferences, mostly because outside of E3, everything else was pretty, blah. Without Sony being there for Gamescom, it had its moments. I talked about Microsoft, which was an excellent conference, but for the most part, it really hasn't been that much going on this summer. It felt like a very low-key, quiet summer where you got a lot of rehashes outside of the Microsoft conference. But with TGS here, Sony has decided to start to talk about some things that they didn't do over the summer. Now, we all know that they weren't at Gamescom. They are planning on being at this show called the Paris Games Week. I believe that's the name of it. Correct me if I'm wrong. And they're going to do a marquee press conference there. They're also going to be doing the PlayStation Experience. And I pretty much figured that the Tokyo Gaming Show would be another platform in which they would go out and they would actually give more information. Sony seems to be being more selective of where they're going to, talk to their fan base or talk to people in general about what they're going to be doing. Now, TGS this year had some interesting things when I was looking through. This year, the keynote, they announced the new Bloodborne expansion. They let you know when it was going to be available. The first DLC is going to be November 21st. That's the Old Hunters. And then there will be a special edition of Bloodborne coming out that will include the DLC that will be available on December 3rd. I don't know if they announced the pricing or not. I haven't had a chance to look at the conference. I may look at it later because it's been so busy, but I'm looking through the notes that have been posted on gaming feeds. That's the information they have. There's also going to be a Gravity Rush 2. Now, it's called Gravity Days, of course, in Japan. They use a different name for a lot of games in Japan, but Gravity Rush will be having a sequel that's coming out in 2016. If you don't know what Gravity Rush is, it was a excellent PlayStation Vita game. I actually got it when I first got my PlayStation Vita because it was one of the free games that Sony offered at the time. And it's a really cool, inventive game where you're basically using gravity to move around the map and to engage in fight. It's really cool. Check it out if you can. But they're also going to bring the original Gravity Rush to the PlayStation 4 on December 10th in Japan. It's supposed to be out sometime in February for North America and Europe. So that's a really cool thing. I'm curious to see how they're going to do the translation, as I've heard that the tearaway translation to the PS4 came out pretty good. So very curious to see how this is going to come to console. It's a game that probably didn't get its just due simply because it's on the Vita. People don't really gravitate that much towards the Vita. The Vita is an excellent handheld, but Sony didn't do much to push it, and the interest in handhelds outside of the DS just dissipated. Handhelds aren't what they used to be. The DS is the handheld of choice, or the handheld that people recognize the most. But for outside of that, it's just Vita is just, I don't know. And it's a shame because it's a really good piece of hardware, but it is what it is. But that's nice to see. There was a trailer for a character in For Honor, a samurai. They showed the samurai class, and the samurai class actually looks pretty good. I'm actually watching the trailer again to see, but I'm actually really hyped for the For Honor game because the combat looks pretty damn interesting. Looks really interesting to me. The whole premise of that game just looks like it's going to be cool. But the Samurai, yeah, I probably will end up playing that class. That and the Viking. I think Samurai and Viking. I like the medieval knights and all that. I love that era of European history, but I feel like the Samurai is just going to be much cooler, and same thing with the Viking. That's just me. That's just me. But anyway, there's also talk of Assassin's Creed Syndicate DLC. Okay, cool. We got Jack the Ripper. Kind of weird that they would start announcing DLC for that game already, but it is what it is. There's going to be a Yakuza HD remake, which will appeal to a lot of fans. I know a few people who are into the Yakuza series, so I know that they're going to be excited about that. And there's going to be a demo of Yakuza 6 that's going to come with that title, and Yakuza 6 is set to be out in Japan in the fall of 2016. Not sure when it's going to be in the States. It's going to take a while. It usually takes a minute for Yakuza to drop in the States after it drops in Japan, so Yakuza fans are going to have to wait for that. There's going to be a new King of Fighters in 2016 for the PS4. I'm not sure if it's going to be on other platforms, and a lot of this stuff that is being made by third parties, they don't necessarily say what's going to be on. I mean, there's things that we obviously know. We know Assassin's Creed. We know that For Honor, they're going to be on multiple platforms. But King of Fighters, not sure if that's going to come anyplace else. I kind of doubt it. It seems like it's more of a PlayStation type of fighter. Square Enix announced a new Vita game called Saga Scarlet Grace. Bandai Namco, sorry, I said Namco. Bandai Namco announced a couple of games as well. There's going to be a Kingdom Hearts 2.8 for the PS4. Again, being this Sony's press conference, not sure if it's going to come to the Xbox One. I would assume not, only because I don't think any of the Kingdom Hearts have been on Xbox One. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember like 1.5 and 2.5 being on the Xbox One. So they'll probably keep it that way. There's a Dragon's Quest game coming. Dark Souls 3 got a release date when it's going to be coming in Japan. Of course, we don't have the... I don't think they said when it's going to come in the States. They're saying that it's probably not likely it'll be coming in the States at the same time. I would like to see them do a dual launch, but I think it's just going to be March 24th for Japan only, and then sometime down the road in the States. There's a Resident Evil spinoff called Umbrella Corps that is coming out. They talked about the game Star Ocean. They've talked about some faceplates and a transparent DualShock 4, as well as other controllers that you can get for PS4. I don't know about the transparent thing. It doesn't really do much for me. The gold one, yeah. Silver's cool. I like the steel black. But at this point, I'm not in the need of a new controller, so that's not getting me amped. And once I start needing a new controller, I'll probably get a lot more hype. Now, the biggest thing that came out of there was that there's going to be a price drop on the PS4 in Japan, which is a pretty cool thing. That makes me think that sometime soon, maybe in the fall, during maybe the Paris conference, or during their PlayStation experience, it would make better sense to do it in Paris before Black Friday. But I feel like sometime soon we're going to be hearing a price drop in other territories for the PS4. They've done it in Japan, which is cool. I know it's doing okay in Japan, but not as well as they want. Japan's not really into consoles like that anymore, so that's not a surprise. But I feel like if they drop the price in other territories, they'll keep their momentum going, because they're still doing very, very well. But I don't know. Maybe they're going to have to make a switch, because I feel like they're going to be coming out with a 1 terabyte PlayStation 4 as well sometime soon. So dropping the price on the 500 would make sense. Come out with the 1 terabyte and then, you know, go from there. But we shall see. But that was pretty much the basis of Tokyo Game Show. You know, it's not a whole lot, but it's starting. Sony now giving us more information than they've been doing lately. Of course, not much dropping for this year, but you know, they're padding stuff for the foreseeing future. Definitely. I don't know if it's going to be stuff that's going to appeal to everyone, but they're definitely putting out stuff for people within their fan base. So it's pretty good so far. Anyway, you guys hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Makers, and I'm out. Deuces.